Hi everyone. In today's episode of Talk It Through, I wanna talk about something that's been going on my mind lately, and it's grief. Uh, like I'm mentally okay. It's there's nothing to be concerned about, but I was just kind of remembering moments and some things, and I kind of realized that some people, or maybe like a lot of adults, they don't really know how to be there for someone when the other someone is grieving. So I kind of want to share something on that. So I have experienced grief, uh, and I have known people who have experienced a fair share of grief in their own lives. So, I think the first reaction when something happens to you, and I'm not talking about the loss of someone uh, I'm not just talking about the loss of someone where the person is like gone. It can also be like a friendship breakup, a relationship breakup, any kind of loss, basically. I think that when we lose someone or something, we do feel that general sense of grief. And I think that as someone who's grieving, like her job, her relationship, and then, family members, I think that I kind of have enough experience to let you know what to do or what to say. So, hear me out. Um, when like I see people kind of coming over during those times, during like a service, or like just to pay respects or something, they come in with this some people come in with a very concerning, sincere energy, whereas some people come in with the just for the sake of that, oh, I'm just there, just to like show appearance or show face. And I don't think that that's fair. I think that that just shows immaturity and insincerity. And, some people are just there for the food, which is again very messed up. And the dialogues and the lines that I've heard people say over the years, oh, God has a plan and it had to happen, or there must be a reason for it. There's never a reason to lose. There's never a reason for anyone to pass away, though. I mean, yeah, there are specific reasons, like maybe they were sick for a long time, or maybe they got old, or maybe they had a chronic illness. And even during the pandemic, we lost so many people. Because of COVID, we lost so many people. So so we are accustomed to losing people now, I think. And it's not just about age anymore. I think we are losing young people, old people, people who are millennial, Gen Z, whatever. Like, we're losing people left and right, unfortunately. And I think that's why I felt like I had to say something about it. Because I remember when I told someone that my mother had passed away. So that person, literally, the reply was, "Oh my God, I cannot even imagine what I would do." And that just, that made me feel taken aback a little bit, because I was like, why are you putting that? Like, I get it, you're trying to like be empathetic or whatever, but that's not how you show empathy, in my opinion. I think that if you can just say, oh, I'm so sorry for your loss and I cannot imagine what that would like, I think that would be enough. You don't have to kind of put yourself in my shoes. Like, I would never wish that on anyone. And there's people who have said things like, oh, now you guys can calm down a little bit, or now you guys can like have like an easy life. Because my mom was sick. She had cancer. So of course the medical bills and the uh, taking care of that, um, you know, taking care of that illness, or I don't know, what's the better word, but those times are very frustrating because it because you're up all night helping them out. You also have a lot of bills to pay, then the medicines, then the appointments, then the constant follow-ups with the doctors, then um, making sure that they're all right. But I mean, they're a person at the end of the day. So, and I feel like someone who becomes a patient, if that makes sense, I think they become very stubborn themselves because, of course, they want to live like a normal person, but they can't because they have to have so many dietary restrictions or so many, they can't just like go out. During my grandfather's passing, the focus was more on my grandmother because she had been with him for a long time, and obviously, like, we had to be there for her, and really take care of her needs and really comfort her and be there for her. But my father also had a few losses in his life. He just lost his father. During that time, the focus was not on me or my grief specifically. One person hugged him during that entire time of service. It was just one person who hugged him. And when I saw that, I felt like a sigh of relief that, oh my god, someone is there for my dad. Of course I'm there for him, and my grandmother is there for him. But there were so many people that came over, and not one of them thought to give my father a hug. And my father is not a hugger kind of a person, but I think that during these times you can just ask, like, hey, would you like a hug? Or, hey, how are you doing? Just pat on the shoulder, hey, how are you doing, would have been more than enough. But no one did that. And it's so messed up. And yeah, it was just, I mean, that's what I kind of want to say. Like, and I've also done a post. Like, this is like a long time ago. I did a post for Instagram page called That Desi Psychologist, and I kind of did a post where what to do, what not to do, and what to say and what not to say during a person's time of a loss. So I'll put that as a link as well. And so this is my personal experience. So when I lost my mother, I did not have that many friends. And one of my closest friends, the only friend almost that I had, was in another country. So of course she was there for me despite the time difference, despite the geographical difference, but still she was there. So I remember her being there for me and listening to me and comforting me and all that. My sisters were also in another country, so they were also really available and there for me. And there was this one person who was in the same city, almost in the same area, but she could not be there for me. And she told me that, she said, oh, I cannot be there for you because I have so much to study for, and I have this and I have that, and I cannot just come to you on a whim. And I believe I'm someone who's resilient enough to just kind of handle my own emotions and regulate at the same time. And I told her, like, you know what, I'm perfectly fine, but like once a week we can go out, like it's fine. And she just said to me, oh, like, I'm not that. And she named one of my friends who was in another country, like the friend that I just mentioned. And I was just like, okay, you know what, this is not working out. And we literally had a friendship breakup. So I'm literally grieving over the loss of my own mother, and on top of that there's a friendship breakup that's happening. So yeah, it was like a double whammy sort of a situation, and it was just really, I mean, it kind of changed my way of thinking, and it kind of changed my perspective about friendship in general, because if a friend is not there for you, you know that phrase of, we learned in school, a friend in need is a friend indeed. I was just like, nope. There is no friend in need. A friend in need is just of a convenience sort of a thing. Long time ago, I saw this post. It said that one of my friends lost her job, and instead of saying I'm sorry, I said congratulations. And that also changed. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of segueing into the loss of a person, from a loss of a person to a job now. Sorry for the rambling. But yeah, so the post, yeah, that said that instead of saying I'm sorry for the job, she just said congratulations. And that also changed my perspective of regarding jobs or work in general. and and I think that that's important, because yes, losing a job hurts. Yes, losing a job sucks. You feel rejected, you feel disappointed, and you feel like a failure, here and there. But at the end of the day, it's just, at the end of the day, it does not define you or your potential as a person, because not everyone will like you, or not everyone will want to work with you, or you may not work with everyone, you sometimes. And I think that in my personal experience, most of the times the jobs that have not worked out for me were only because either I did not like them or they did not like me. And I think that the last job that I lost, that really felt obvious, like, oh, they do not like me or my work ethic or whatever. And that was an I mean, I always kind of knew that I don't think that I can be a good employee, but I think that the last one really did open my eyes and really made me kind of switch and really explore myself as a person, and really just, not follow the same path that I've always been following, where it's like, oh, you've lost a job, okay, it's fine, like apply for a new one, and go to interviews and apply for a new one, and blah blah blah. And I'm privileged enough that I can sit here and just explore myself creatively, and maybe create my own path. And I also have the support of my father at this time. He's like, I don't want you to work, follow your dreams. If you want to do your own thing, do that. And my sister also said the same thing. She said that maybe it's time you take a step back from job applying. Maybe you can do that sometime later, but take this time and utilize this time. So yeah. And losing a parent is an indescribable feeling, I would say. It's shock, denial, anger, acceptance, abandonment, all over. um, Friendship breakup also hurts. And right now I'm going through the loss of a loved one as well. Like, I've also had a breakup recently. I mean, it's not recent, but I think for a while we both knew that, yeah, it's not leading anywhere. It's kind of like a dead end. So I took that bold step of, you know what? Fine. So I'm also kind of going through that breakup thing as well. I'm obviously heartbroken, but then again, I had been heartbroken for a while, so now it's just like I am turning a new leaf. I am what do you say, turning finish that chapter and moving on to the next one. And I don't know what's in store for me, but there are a lot of things that I've found out about myself and what I want and the kind of life that I want, and I am trying to find myself spiritually. So it's a journey. So grief in general, yes, it hurts, and yes, it sucks, and yes, you don't know how to handle your feelings when you're going through that tough time, and you just want to like run away, disappear, maybe become an anonymous person in the middle of nowhere. You want to do all that, yes. But I think that it's been 5 years since I lost my mother, so I also feel like the space, the mother shaped hole that she has left in my life, I'm only I feel like I'm only trying to fill that void by creating memories and kind of living life in general, and um, trying to experience life as an adult. I'm entering a new decade, and just being there for my family in the way that they need me, also showing up for myself, because my mom, she loved celebrating birthdays, and so I am sort of carrying that legacy, I think, in my own ways. I love celebrating my friends' birthdays and anyone that I really like. If it's your birthday, I'm gonna try and just wish you and celebrate and whatever. And also at the same time, uh, she always taught me to stand up for myself and to say what I want, and I'm now trying to do that. And you know yeah, so I think that every loss teaches you something about yourself. My friendship breakups have taught me about how I am as a friend and how I'm more there than the other one. So maybe I can just like have boundaries and put myself first. My mother's loss taught me about life, how fragile it is, and at the same time how long it is. Like people who say life is too short, it's not short, man. It's really long. It's really long. Um, and relationship breakup, well, it taught me like it doesn't. I mean, the relationship breakup actually taught me that it was not my fault. And I really gave myself to the person, and I have a basically what I'm trying to say in this conclusion is that I am someone who's a giver, I am someone who's a lover, I am caring, I show up for people, and I don't think I should change that, and I'm not gonna change that. And people who are or who have the same nurturing qualities, I'm now finding them. So I'm really like grateful for anyone who's in my life right now as a friend. Female friendships, I want to emphasize, I have a lot of female friends in my life right now, and I'm so grateful for them, their presence, their existence. And I want to create as many memories with them as I can. And I hope that like I've just turned 30, so I hope that this next decade goes better than the 20s, because my 20s I had a lot of losses, and so in my 30s maybe it's gonna be about gaining better people, better opportunities, creating better, more loving memories, and just experiencing life. uh, Thank you for listening till the end. I hope that you may have taken something from this, maybe learned something from this. Oh, and I also want to add on, if you know someone who's ever had a loss, and if you don't know how, even if you don't know what to say, if you don't want to hug that person because it might make it awkward for you or them, just sit with them in silence. That's the that's the best and the least thing you can do in that moment. With that being said, this is it for another episode of Talk It Through.